Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk, here to share my thoughts on what's going on with the Lakers. We are about 3 days away from the NBA draft and a lot of stuff going on in the news right now. I don't try to post updates whenever something's breaking because I'm not trying to be a journalist. I'm not trying to be a writer or anything like that. I just blog. I blog and I just speak my mind and share my thoughts whenever I feel like it. I've been busy the last few days, but a lot of stuff been going on in the news right now. As you know, all the workouts are over. Philly makes a trade with the Celtics. Philly gets the #1 pick, and they're going to pick Markelle Fultz. I'll talk about them in another video. I don't really care too much about Philly. Lakers are at #2. Looks like the Lakers, you know, you hear in the media, they are going to pick Lonzo Ball. It's just, you know, it's getting close to that, and Boston, I think they might take either Jason Tatum or Josh Jackson, who knows. But the big news is Paul George. Paul George comes out and tells everybody, tells his agent that he is absolutely, well, we don't have any quotes or nothing like that, but sources say he notified the Pacers that he's going to play out his contract and come play for the Lakers. That's what he wants. He wants to sign with the Lakers in free agency. Okay, now that sparked a whole, you know, whirlwind of events. Like, now the Pacers, knowing that, they have to get rid of him. They have to at least try to trade him to get something in return. Why would they keep him, right, and let him play out his contract? No, they're gonna trade him. So now everybody's looking to trade for Paul George, but here's the thing, because he went on record as a 1-year rental per se, no one's gonna get any true value. So if the Cavs try to trade for Paul George, the Cavs aren't gonna give up anything huge for Paul George, you know. If Boston's not gonna try to trade for him now because he's gonna leave, you know, just 1-year rental. The big news, and I came out on Twitter and I said this: you trade for Paul George right now. You do not wait. If there's an opportunity, you don't wait just because you hear through hearsay that he wants to come and join the Lakers. There's several reasons why. One, time is money, right? Why wait around and let him put more mileage on his body and just kind of like twiddle our thumbs until he becomes a free agent, right? That's one. Two, you don't know if he's gonna have a change of mind if he lands with the team and he ends up landing, let's say, with the Cavs or something like that, and LeBron likes him and he likes LeBron. He'll be like, I never said anything in writing. I never signed anything with the Lakers. You know, I enjoyed here. You know, we're winning championships, or, you know, if he wins a championship per se, or likes it, right? That's that. Three, now you got the Clippers involved, right? The Clippers are thinking, yeah, I would do a 1-year rental with Paul George, bring him home to LA. Now he's close to home and he's in a playoff team. He goes deep in the playoffs with, let's say the Clippers happen to stay healthy. Now he's in a deep playoff team. Maybe he likes it over there at you know, just across the room, you know. Then Clippers are, you know, got a lot of money, and they pay him, you know, max deal, and they wanna you know, build a new stadium in Inglewood or something like that. And you know what, he feels good with that. He wants to start his own legacy and not copy the legacy of Kobe Bryant. Maybe he has a change of mind, right? That can happen. Now also, here's the deal: if you have an opportunity, so you don't want any of those things to happen. If you have an opportunity, he wants to come to the Lakers, I know for a fact, okay, I don't care, fanboys, we're not keeping all our young guys, okay? These young guys, you do an assessment of your young core and you say, who has the heart? Who has the grit? Who has the determination? Who has the it factor? You know, that is going to remain a Laker long term. The only one I see is obviously Brandon Ingram. We all see that. Even Magic and them see that. Everybody else is suspect. Meaning what? That doesn't mean that they can't play. That just means that I don't know if I can trust in this guy long term, 5 years down the road. And do I want to invest in D'Angelo? Do I want to invest in Clarkson? Do I want to invest in Brandon Ingram? You know, is D'Angelo going to continue his bipolar ways? Play good one day, so the next. Play good when, you know, and feel, you know, when he feels like it and all that stuff. Is Julius Randle gonna go beast mode on us all the time, and his lack of basketball IQ show here and there, and then sometimes he plays good, sometimes he plays bad? Is Jordan Clarkson still going to be inconsistent with his shot and you know, on the from the 3-point line and so forth and whatever, right? I can't even think in my mind. Whoever, I mean, those are our main core, right? Outside of Brandon Ingram, I'm not sold on anybody on our team long term. I'm saying you do an assessment and you put together a small package. You don't give up you give up one of them, one of our young guys, and a pick, our 22nd pick. If we can move up in the draft and get maybe a closer pick, then you add that pick, right, for Paul George. Now, Indy, that looks like a good ad. I think that's a good. You gotta have something favorable, better than the Clippers, better than what the Cavs can offer. I think the Lakers can come up with a nice little package that you can pitch over to Pacers, and you can land Paul George. At that point, here's the deal. Paul George is the #1 piece, okay? He becomes a Laker. We pair him up. We pick Lonzo Ball. And now we got Brandon Ingram, right? Just to build around those three, in my opinion. And then in 2018, who do you got? You got free agents like Russell Westbrook, which we probably have a point guard by then. We don't need him, but if he's available and he wants to come, we can make some moves happen, right? If LeBron James hasn't won another chip, and he likes what Lonzo Ball is doing with Paul George, and maybe he wants to join that nucleus with Brandon Ingram, whatever, maybe he comes. I don't know. That's just hypotheticals, right? Because they threw that out there. LeBron James might want to come to LA or Los Angeles and play a little bit out here. He has a home out here. Who knows? But then you got, those are like hypotheticals. But then you got Boogie Cousins, a free agent in 2018. Would he like? I mean, by then we would have only 2 years remaining on Mozgov, or Mozgov actually is a good backup. You keep Mozgov, you trade Mozgov, you try to dump Mozgov, and you land Boogie. Now you got Boogie at center. By then, you can probably re-sign, if you're believing Julius Randle, you re-sign him to not a max, but you re-sign him, right? You got Boogie, Randle, Ingram, Paul George, and Lonzo. Somebody tweeted me that lineup. I like that squad. Not saying that's just the squad's going to win championship, but it's going to make the playoffs and be very competitive. That's my thoughts on why I would say, but all the news going on, obviously I'm focused on getting our #2 pick, but I'm not touching our #2 pick in terms of any tradable assets. But I'd package one of our young guys with our 28th pick and maybe a future second or something for a Paul George, or maybe throw in another piece just to make the numbers work. I would offer that to the Pacers. If they don't bite, then you stick it out, but until he becomes a free agent. So you don't want to give up too much, but you put something together that's really nice, that's better than what the Clippers are going to offer and better than what the Cavs might offer. And you try to land him right now. That's my thoughts. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. And as always, follow me on Twitter, Mike Sports Delight. Also, my thing is this: Paul George needs a year to get acclimated. So I think, why wait? Because he's gonna have to get acclimated, and you know, once he comes to the team, he comes now. We trade for him now. You can kind of like, you know, get a feel. He's not under pressure to win any championships, to get to the playoffs. He just can ball out with our squad, get acclimated, and then by then, those free agents that come out in 2018, we try to add another chip for him to help him. That's my thoughts. Hit me up. We'll talk soon, guys. Peace.